Welcome to the party of the century. I mean, no, not this, although cheers. What you're about to watch is episode 5 of the Crunchtime After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. That episode is titled Party of the Century. We're going to talk about that party and really answer the question, are we fucked? Stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Anybody got some glow sticks? We have shots.
Happy Halloween. Welcome to a very special Halloween episode here of the Crunchtime After Show here at AFTERBUZZ TV. My name is Patrick. I'm one of your hosts. You can find me on Twitter at P to the Dees. I am joined by the entire Rooster team, as they call us around here.
Yeah.
I'll start to my left with the internet's own Mark B. Donica.
I am the internet's Mark B. Donica. You find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica, but I am joined to my left by Ms. Megan Salinas.
Hey guys, you guys can find me on Twitter at the Megwin. That's TheMengun. And to my left, you guys can find Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We have the live chat. We have the hashtag ABTV Crunchtime. Party with us in those. You may well get a shout out.
I kind of love it.
Yep.
Gotta hit it one more time. It's okay, go ahead.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
What are you guys dressed? Let me start here. What are you dressed as? I mean,
The destination for
Hey, Steve, what's going on?
it is a party. It's a party.
Crazy party.
Guys, it's glitching.
Oh God, we have to get
They're
out.
pulling us out of the brain frame.
We're drinking in here. They're drinking on the other side. It is Halloween night here.
I have
AFTERBUZZ
sparkly
TV.
purple liquor
you?
in my sparkly purple flask. I kid you not.
You got
My
a
eyes
share,
deceive
friend?
me. Is your name on that flask?
It is. I have Ghost Pokemon
House
and my name
Gengar.
engraved on here because it's where I keep my booze.
I kind of love it.
Or
my spirits.
Stop.
Fun flask.
Nailed it.
No, she's heard it like 85 times. That's how I introduce my flask.
Saying it very eye-rolledly.
That's a really good friend though when you've heard a story like 400 times and you don't
can
just like
finish
beat
it.
them to the punch or act surprised when you're like, oh, I've never heard that. Great one. Great, really good stuff.
Good one.
So it's real bright on Planet Cool. Is
A
what
little
I
bit,
think
that's what I said last week.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
as you,
it's getting brighter.
It's getting brighter. I had
Yeah.
to join you on party. It's
all right.
Party of the century.
So
What
yeah,
are you dressed as?
I mean, you wanted us in sort of a party attire.
I did.
I wanted to dress as I wanted to bring back my Nora from RTX. So I did a little bit of both. I got this that you brought. Vote.
I did.
2016 puppies make America happy.
I think it's a better choice this year. Either way, get out and vote.
And I'm in it for my boy Larry, so I gotta
I
feel
know. I love that you're repping that. Megan, what are you dressed as?
Well, officially, I'm a member of House Slytherin.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, I'll just be a Slytherin person this year. Well, specifically, because I had like a volunteer event that I had to go do on Sunday where there were a bunch of kids. So I was like, okay, I'll be just a Harry Potter person.
Sure.
Well, later that night, I had to do the Ash versus Evil Dead, and I was like, I can't just be a Slytherin when there are Deadites running around.
Yep.
Like, I've got a chainsaw, for goodness sake. So I kind of Shaun of the Deaded it up, I
Yep.
guess.
Deaded it.
With I threw the tie on my head like Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
I got my chainsaw. I'm like, who needs a magic wand when you got a chainsaw?
Literally words to live by. It's kind of great. Did you do anything fun, Katie?
I am on my 6th of 6 costumes over the past
Stop.
4
Champion.
days.
Stop.
Champion.
Can we get a quick
They
rundown?
are okay. Steampunk on Friday night, exotic butters
Exotic
slash
butters.
eggs Benedict. Exactly,
Eggs Benedict.
I
Okay.
made exotic butters
Exotic
for
butters.
LA's Comic Con on Saturday. God, what was it? Saturday night. I was a formal apology on Saturday night.
pretty good.
This morning at work today, I was Belle. For the Z Nation after show, I was Julie from Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And now I am in my best ridiculous party gear and ready to go into the brain frame. I'm basically an extra. I'm wearing insane leggings, but you can't see them because having rewatched the episode, I'm like,
Yep.
everyone's wearing insane leggings. Win in Rome.
I love that you're
and
ready
glitter,
to party in the
because
brain
glitter.
frame. Let's do
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Dress the part.
I didn't dress the part. I almost never do Halloween. I was gonna usually go. My default is going as Prince Harry, right? I buy a Burger King crown and wear a blazer. It's really lame.
It's pretty good.
I was very close this year to going as the Wall from Stranger Things. I was just gonna write the letters across my chest and then string some lights. Real
Yeah.
dumb.
That's
Real
good.
That was a very popular cosplay at LA Comic Con.
Was it really?
Oh yeah.
Real dumb.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was
No, I
really
don't-
easy. I'm always looking for the lowest maintenance type costume. But I am loving that you're ready to party in the brain frame. That's what we're here to talk about. Episode 5, Party of the Century. This episode was a little bit like last episode from a pacing perspective, and I kind of want to just jump right in it. I want to ask you.
do it.
Let me ask you, Puppy Master Mark.
Yo.
Let's start out with Sam, right? Because we did a deep dive last week. We talked a lot about Sam. Villain, or are we feeling empathetic? Where are you with Sam based on this episode? What are your general thoughts?
This episode was very misleading.
Yep.
This entire time we've been leading as Sam being the worst person.
Sure.
Absolutely the worst person. And the majority of this episode was us trying to get back into his good graces. Feel sorry for him. He's got a terrible relationship with his dad. Nobody remembers his birthday. And he's left out on his birthday of the party of the century. So we're supposed to feel, they're trying to make us feel, I'm not saying that I felt bad for him, but they're trying to make us feel bad for Sam until the last 5 minutes of the show where he is back to being evil incarnate. And he, maybe a little too far, but he definitely is the reason why the chain of events leading to the rift happened.
Yeah. Well, he's been the reason from the get-go.
Yeah.
Because he's the catalyst.
Yeah.
Megan, do you agree with that?
It's so funny because I've been pushing for Sam's a supervillain, you know, from the get-go, pretty much. And now, like, after this episode, maybe it's just me falling for this ploy because he's the storyteller here. But now I'm like, you're not a supervillain, you're just a schmuck. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, his dad has more, and again, maybe this is just because he's telling the story, but his dad is like a robot, and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, if anybody's going to be a supervillain in this scenario, it's gonna be him. It's gonna be Sam's dad.
And Dad put a tail on him at the end of their conversation.
Exactly. And what kind of person does that?
A caring
This
person.
guy has henchmen. He has henchmen.
Which can we stop? Like that should be something all of us aspire to. Like one day, I mean, career goals is I want henchmen.
Dude,
someday.
I want a robot army.
That's what I'm talking about.
That
Exactly.
is like
Why
my
settle for
dream
henchmen? I like it.
conquering the world.
So
I just want a highly paid gopher.
okay. Why highly paid?
G-O-F-E-R, not
Alfred.
P-H-E-R. Come on.
I'm for PHER personally.
Yeah, I'm for
Have fun,
PHER
man.
as well, and I think it should be an unpaid intern as far as I'm concerned. Like, no matter how rich
No,
you get,
because that's bullshit.
Trump has unpaid interns.
Yes, because that's
moving on.
bullshit.
I know,
He's got the
I'm
best
sorry. I just
words,
vote
guys.
for puppies. He does have the best words. But let me come back to you, Megan. Because did you feel more empathetic toward it? Like, because Mark and I were talking before we started the show, and we both kind of feel like, and not to speak for you, but like I feel like this episode, I really felt for the man. It's rough.
It's easy, prior to this episode to say, oh, okay, he's got issues with his father.
Sure.
He's riding on Daddy's coattails and everything like that. And he certainly doesn't want for anything financially, but the thing that he clearly wants, as we can see from this episode, is genuine human connection. And prior to this, we've seen that in terms of him trying to control Hannah, and those are not good behaviors.
Sure.
But here, maybe it's that unreliable narrator slant to it.
Yep.
Because again, this is his recollection of the events. But I don't so much feel empathy for him as I do go, okay, this paints a more accurate picture.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm still going to fall back on the Brooklyn Nine-Nine summary of cool motive, still murder. Okay, we get why you did it. We get what you're going for. That does not change the fact that you did it and there's a problem and it's because of you. Everyone contributed to this, yes. I understand his emotional state, yes. That doesn't change the fact that he flew off the handle at Berkman for attempting to date someone who is single.
Yeah.
And just kind of lost it. She does not belong to you. And I feel like he had a moment where he understood that, I can't have you, but still decided to act on the she's mine instinct.
He 100% did the right thing leaving.
Right.
He didn't do the right thing coming back. I know he was, I think, trying to be the bigger person when they asked him back, but...
They didn't really ask him back because he woke up and he saw Connor with the balloons and was like, oh, they did something for me. So it was still very selfish.
Honestly, I just lost that. Birthdays. When you get older, your birthdays get a little less important. And now that we're in the age of Facebook and technology and you have 8 billion friends, I'm kind of at the point of, I turned 28 this year, and my birthday celebration was very small because I share a birthday with a friend, and because it was on a weeknight and it's kind of tough to get to. And there's a point where you have to understand that, yes, you can invite people, yes, you can ask them to come, yes, you can ask them to confirm, but it's ultimately up to them, and you can only expect so much when you're friends with a bunch of busy adults. And so sitting there going, you forgot my 28th birthday, and I'm like, suck it up. It doesn't sound like you said anything beforehand.
These are stone cold over there, right? Like, this is brutally here. So first of all, 28th, I can't think of a less consequential birthday. So I get it.
Like I said, I turned 28 this year.
More inconsequential.
More inconsequential?
It is less consequential. That is grammatically
That's
correct.
a double negative. Yeah, I agree.
Less consequential is grammatically correct.
Amazing scene. But like, that's interesting. So for me, I differ a little bit in the sense that, like, for me, Sam was like, this is hard to watch. I also, all of these things in a silo are understandable. Like, I'm with you, Katie, like, grow the fuck up. It's your 28th birthday, people forget, move on. But is that, and then like, obviously being forced to or choosing to work with Hannah, which we'll get to in a minute, which has got to be rough, and then Dad being his father, and that whole interaction was just tough. And like, God forbid somebody remember his birthday, and it's not even that they, to your point earlier, Katie, like, they weren't just busy, they chose to have something going on that time, and then he let them know about it. Like, for me, I think it humanized him in a way that, like, the previous episodes had not, and I don't know if it's just like a compared to his father, because like what he did was kind of mild to like what literally his father is probably pretty capable of.
I don't blame them for not knowing that it was his birthday.
Yeah,
he and Hannah went out for a couple of months. Though he seems to be the guy who would be like, my birthday's coming up, but you probably give me something.
Love that guy.
But I don't think.
He's also the guy that got her an IOU for Christmas, and like
he got her a free date with me.
Look, that sound like the retail value's off the charts on that. I don't know why you're not.
No, it's terrible.
Despite the person who, like, he seems like he is open, he's going to give you information whether you want it or not. I don't think that there was an opportunity for them to know that his birthday was coming up.
Yeah, because if you tell someone something and you tell them more than once, then if it's like, oh, next Saturday, you have that little thing in your brain that's like, I'm pretty sure there's something happening next Saturday. Even if it doesn't register fully, you have that, there's a thing there.
Yeah,
and
sure.
that doesn't become no, that becomes, let me check our business schedule and see what we can do.
But he was expecting him just to know. Like,
Yeah,
I think
I know.
He's trying to be a part of the group, and everybody's like such good friends. He's like, well, I thought we were all such good friends,
Right.
so everybody knows my birthday because
course.
everybody's psychic and can read my goddamn mind.
Just because you're in each other's dreams doesn't mean you can read each other's minds. That ain't how this works.
But
That's a good way to put it.
It is a really good way to put it. And I really don't, like, that is a pet peeve of mine when people have, like, an uncommunicated expectation and then are hurt when it's not fulfilled. You know what I mean? They never articulate anything, but then they're just, like, bummed out when it doesn't happen. Drives me crazy.
And that's what this was.
Yep.
And he has it in like size 80 font on his tablet. Like, come
Okay.
on.
I made an
I
icon.
realize that was for the benefit of the audience,
No,
but
but it's-
come
no,
on.
but it's real good. I
they
totally
could have
agree.
zoomed in on a calendar and shown that little, and just kind of been like a normal Sam's birthday, but no, size 80 font.
I feel like that was for
Please.
my benefit because my eyes seem to be going.
You're like, wait, whose birthday is it?
No, like if they
Sam.
zoomed in on it and shown it as kind of a normal size on the calendar, like, oh, that makes more sense, but this big old
Also,
it's
to
like,
be fair,
holy
like
cow.
showing stuff on computer monitors when you're filming, it could be tricky.
No.
So.
That's true too.
For sure, but in my mind, that was his wallpaper. It wasn't even like, wasn't even blowing up. It's just like, yep, got a
his lock
calendar.
screen.
Yeah, it's like the guy that's really into his birthday guy.
Yeah. So into his birthday that he doesn't tell anyone about it.
Get me started.
was gonna
Although,
say-
I will say I've had worse birthdays than like hanging out like with a VR helmet looking into the party of the century. Like that seemed like a pretty alright time. If you
Coming
ask
soon
me.
for PlayStation VR.
I will 100 day one purchase. Right? Pre-order. What's the bonus if I pre-order?
You get to ride the unicorn.
Yes.
Or no, you get
to watch someone, right?
You get to
Yeah.
you get to
That sounds like modern
You get
VR.
an extra perspective of being next to DJ Van Deen.
Ooh, all right. I like that. Is that a
Any-
GameStop exclusive?
That's a GameStop exclusive.
All right.
Yeah.
I will see you at GameStop.
They have my money.
Which, by the way, I love that you mentioned PlayStation VR. Like when Sam is in the headset and it's got that zoomed in, it was almost like that first commercial for Riggs at E3. Do you guys remember the early PlayStation VR
the
commercial?
first-person shooter?
When they're looking around and they're like, it was so evocative of that. It was unbelievable.
Well, and I loved that when we were seeing things that Sam saw, it was overlaid over his face.
Yeah.
So you could
I thought
see-
that was great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, that
it's a
was
good
a
shot.
wonderful artistic choice because not only are you seeing what he's seeing, but you're seeing his reaction to it.
Yeah.
And, again, great acting chops, to be able to convey that, and great effects, too.
And overlaying works better than trying to cut back and forth and show reactions.
They made it more
at least
dynamic
in this
that way.
instance.
They did,
Yes.
but also coming back to the cuts, Mark said something right before we started, was they show that party of the century, right? Like that he's looking into. Well, it's before he's looking into it, they show this, right when that beat drops, this everything, and then they cut to him spinning in a circle by himself and a whole room be snoozing. It's an amazing cut. It was a great point,
It
Mark.
gives you-
Playing on his phone, playing
Yes.
with the lighter.
Yep.
Perfect.
It gets you back to feeling sorry for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
It's a bummer.
It plays the long game throughout the episode. Then you go, all right, dude, chill out.
I know.
And then, feel bad, up until the very last minute.
Where he just goes berserk. And who doesn't know that F9 is a key on a keyboard?
know.
You can see it right there. Like
It was dark
he
in
has
there.
he has no problem solving skills. Like F and 9 aren't working. Is there something right in the top row? F9. Ta-da.
No, I need to keep slamming on the
I know,
keyboard
yeah, totally. I
until
was
it works.
actually thought of you while I was watching this, Katie, because I know you'd work. I like IT, right? And like, yeah, I mean, just watching him repeatedly bang, and I was like, I bet Katie's losing her mind. She's probably tumbling about this right now. I don't know.
I mean, I've had stories where it's like, how did you not know this? But some of the people I work with are over 60 or 70.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the point where I'm like, okay, you didn't grow up with this. It's still relatively new to you. I will happily walk you through it. He's my age.
No, for
he
sure.
doesn't get an excuse.
One would think that he would have picked that up.
He's my age and rich enough to have cutting edge computers as they came
And
out.
rich enough to have people compute for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
He has no
That's the
excuse.
problem, right? Right? I feel like his unpaid interns have been running all the computers.
Gopher.
He has no excuse as far as I'm concerned. Like,
Speaking of
holy
his
cow.
dad, his dad's secretary is working at midnight
Yep.
I honestly
in the
think,
office.
I
Just one
think
of the
that his
shifts.
dad's secretary has two. I think his dad has two secretaries. There we go. That's what I was getting
I'm
at.
sure. I'm sure there's shifts.
But also, if you're overseas,
Yeah.
then it's a different time of day there,
That's-
so
yeah.
they need somebody there to.
And if he's
those
constantly
calls.
traveling.
Yeah,
Fair
because
enough.
Montgomery's
Yeah.
a big deal.
And it's the middle of the day in New Zealand, so he could still get a call to be.
How
forward
much
to
you
him.
want to bet both
Time zones.
secretaries are named Beatrice?
Probably
Yeah,
for
just so he doesn't have to forget.
Exactly.
Or one of them's named Margaret, and he just calls her Beatrice. No, you're Beatrice now. You work for Montgomery.
Okay, whatever. My middle
me
name is
whatever you-
Beatrice. I'll happily. I don't care.
Call me whatever you want, sir.
Let's come back to Montgomery, and I want to even come back to when he yanks everybody out of the brain frame. I want to talk specifically about something you mentioned earlier, Megan. Mark, do you think he made the right decision in separating himself from the environment of working with Hannah, being around Hannah? Like, is that the right decision, or do you man up and work through it and know that it's a good opportunity?
His mind isn't strong enough, as we've learned, especially with not knowing the difference between FN9 and F9.
Yeah.
Not to be stickler on that, but
I'll do it for you.
He's so disconnected. Like you can tell that this was the first. This probably was first love. This was
Yeah.
probably the first person to finally reciprocate some sort of feeling.
Sure.
So I think he didn't stick around to try to be like, this is a good business
Yeah.
venture. This is what this would be better for me if I did that. He did it just to be around her still.
Yeah.
And to hope for an opportunity, any opportunity to get back together with her.
Yep.
So he did it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So let me ask, I want to ask everybody this question, but I'm curious to see, have you guys ever been in a situation where you've been forced to work like in extended periods with either an ex or somebody that you kind of had romantic feelings with? Have you ever been in that situation?
I've definitely worked with people that I've got like little crushes on, but like I was like, no, that's a terrible idea. In terms of like exes, absolutely. Like, and I maybe this is just me personally,
Yeah.
but I can't do it. I don't know how he put up with it for so long.
Put up with what?
like, in terms of like being in the same, like, it's probably because he still thought he had a chance.
Sure,
You know,
absolutely.
that, like, being in the same working environment as an ex, personally, I can't do it. I'm like, nope, I'm done. I remove myself from that situation, and I'm like, okay, that's over, move on.
Yep.
Fair
So
enough.
that's why I'm like, he made the right, and the other thing, too, is it's 100% unreciprocated, you know, at
yeah.
this point. So, he, again, as you said, he stayed in it for the wrong reasons. And he recognized at this particular point that he was there for the wrong reasons, that he was never going to get what he wanted. And so removing himself was being the man, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have two options. It's either man up and like push those feelings deep, deep down and never act on them, you know, and be the better person for it, or you simply remove yourself from the situation and you move on. You can do either of those two things, and when he determined that he needed to leave, I'm like, good for you, son. You did the right thing.
Self-aware, moved on, got out of the situation.
And then he came back, that idiot!
It's his birthday, though. How do you not? There's like balloons and cake.
I can think of better things to do for my birthday than sit on the periphery of a party I was definitely not invited to.
They're very literally at the precipice of like fringe science, right? Are you kidding me? This is like my idea of like a dream birthday. Plus, he was playing some sick zombie game on his phone. That
The
sounds
only
alright.
thing I would have done if I was in that situation would be fuck Connor. I would have the headset on the whole time.
Yeah.
You gotta know what's going on.
Unless I noticed, oh, it's fucking with the power, then I would take it off. But I would wear it until that happened. Are you kidding? I do not want to miss another spin session of DJ Van Deen. Happened once. I was in Vegas. He was out. I was in. Can't do it again.
I don't want to miss any of the lasers or the unicorns or any of that.
Mouth lasers.
And I don't want to miss a thing.
Okay, so I think the birthday. Well, so the separation was one piece. The birthday was another. We talked a little bit about his father, Mark. Like what? Like when you saw, was it that because the build up to Montgomery was a lot over the course of the first four. How did that live up to kind of your expectations?
Didn't know that it was exactly what I was picturing until it happened.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
That means they did a great job.
And it's the type of also shout out to Joel Heyman, who was also in that room. But it was also. It explains a lot about Sam.
It does.
Why he expects people to somebody to remember his birthday because his dad never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even his dad's secretary didn't remember. Who should have all of his important dates? That means he doesn't have it as an important date in his calendar.
Nope.
Yeah.
So totally what I expected.
Like and for me, I keep coming back to like. Again, I don't want to make light of like him kidnapping a woman and knocking her out and then taking advantage in her mind.
And then trying to brainwash her, yes.
But like,
Yeah, no,
probably
that's
by
all real messed
comparison of like what his dad's capable of, like that's a learned behavior. That's just what people do.
Again.
Even the bludgeoning.
Cool motive, still murder.
Totally agree. Megan, you were
again-
nodding aggressively. Did you?
Well, no, again, I just, Montgomery has henchmen. Like,
Yes.
and so, like, I'm like, oh, that's just what you learn when you're the son of a supervillain. You bludgeon people to solve your problems.
Well, and I'm going back to just because someone is socialized to believe or do a thing doesn't mean the thing is right.
No, of
sure.
And that
course
starts
not.
bordering on a lot of real world issues, so I'm kind of going to back away from that there because I don't have time to get into that. but
Causation is
yeah.
not justification.
Exactly.
But it sure had me understand his frame of reference, right?
Yes.
Like he
Yeah.
seems less of a supervillain and more, man, this guy's just not having a good run of it.
It's just,
Even Dad doesn't
He's
give a
just
shit.
very, he comes off as very pathetic in this episode, and you're like, oh, you're not evil. You're just
Misunderstood.
Rooster Teeth
No.
is really good at this, though. And I keep coming back to Red versus Blue
No,
because
please
they
do.
pulled this 3 separate times with Red versus Blue. Here's your villain. He's done some terrible shit. We're going to make you feel sorry for him, but he's still a villain. I keep coming back to Locus. Who's a horrifying and mentally broken, but it's like, you feel sorry for him. Oh my God, he's been manipulated. It's been a terrible time. Cool motive, still murder.
And yet his partner is just a dick.
His partner is worse.
Yeah.
They don't make you sympathize with Felix, though.
No.
But that's the point. Even if all of this stuff has happened to them, even if he's mentally messed up, even if he's being manipulated by his partner, he still chose to commit genocide for profit. So,
Yep.
you don't come back from that. Sam is a far, far lesser scale, but it's still cool motive, still murder.
Digital.
Take a drink every time I say that.
Murder.
I'm wasted at this point.
Everyone's just
already,
like slamming shots.
We've been
say, I'm
we've been
all out.
drinking. One final question about Montgomery. Did you kill a prostitute?
What? No.
Is that to me?
Yeah. I sense a little hesitation, Mark.
You promised that we would never speak about it.
out.
I thought that was the 9/11 true thing that I owe you an apology about from last week. I didn't realize the prostitute thing was off limits.
That was,
See?
it's pretty off limits.
Drinking on the air.
Sparkly
This is
purple.
the best.
It's so pretty.
It's Halloween.
Guys, this episode, we got another montage.
Sick montage,
right?
bro.
yeah.
I know. I was like wanting to high five you guys like right away. I love it when the show goes into montage. What was your favorite part, Megan? You seem excited about it. Do you remember?
Oh god, we're just talking about the montage in the party, right?
Yeah. Well,
No.
Oh, I was thinking like
the
the
build-up.
training.
The build, yes,
oh,
exactly.
crap.
It
The
was
build. Oh,
Yep.
like we're talking about with Larry and like
Yes.
his training session.
Berkman showing him the porn.
That was my favorite part.
Presumed
The
porn.
difference between
Yeah.
fantasies.
I think my favorite was just the look of Larry with the crossfade of like the universe and just like him just trying to take it all in. I think that was my favorite bit of just like him embracing his destiny.
Yep.
I loved the difference between show him, open him up to fantasy, understand that his fantasy is not the same as your fantasy, and the watching porn versus watching unicorn stories and the differences
baby
in their
elephant.
expressions. I loved it so much.
Berkman looked so bored.
And confused.
The same amount of horrified.
Yeah, totally, right?
Yeah.
You're a grown-ass man. Why are we watching this? This is, real good. I kind of liked Hannah
Commentary
recruiting in
on
the bar.
Burley culture.
When she's recruiting the woman, and she's like, I just want him like to be a spider, but he's like grabbing my tits, just with the spider hair, whatever. I was like,
And
the
the-
perfect bar conversation.
And
She's
but also the
nodding,
thing,
yeah.
Hannah going, yeah,
Yep.
every night.
I get the feeling she's gotten really good at the nod and enthusiasm bit.
Totally.
She had to have been. She was dating Sam.
No. It makes me feel like
She's piling on this poor guy.
I feel like she took an improv class before going to grad school because she's so good at yes and.
Yeah.
What my partner means is we can't take Discover. Oh, it's a MasterCard. Okay. Like, actually, I do want to say that before the montage, probably my favorite bit from this episode was when they're negotiating, like, the party contract.
Yes.
Because it was like classic Ghostbusters. It was like Vinkman and, just like the two of them, like, discussing the fee and like giving each other little cues, and
Yep.
so it was great to see Berkman and Hannah kind of work the same way.
Yeah, great. Like, again, seamless. And I want to get to Berkman and Hannah right now, because last week we talked a lot about are they or aren't they? This is the
Will
Ross
they or
and
won't
Rachel.
I
of-
whiffed that shit. I was
down.
like,
I didn't want to
never.
go, Mark?
I was like, never happens. But it was it's good that they put in a very adult relationship and like conversation. The fact that it turned into Berkman making the move, they share the moment, and then Hannah 100% going, oh no, nope, never mind.
The big
but
thing
they were
is
adult about it.
Berkman respecting that. That is
Yeah.
the huge difference. And I
Sure.
think we hit on this a little bit last episode, where we introduced Berkman as this complete awful human being. He's a total dick. And we introduced Sam as, well, you're kind of sad and pathetic, but we're
Sure.
supposed to sympathize with you. And at this point, they have completely switched, because Sam has gone off the handle in terms of, no, she's mine, I own her. And Berkman the horn dog, who we see hitting on a woman who has a boyfriend as his introduction, is, no, okay, I respect that.
Yep.
He does what Sam doesn't, and that's a huge deal.
To be fair, fuck Stackhouse though.
Yeah, I mean, fuck that guy. I know last week I said R.I.P.
his
but
first name is
preemptive
Stackhouse.
fire!
His first name is Stackhouse.
Still
though.
probably my favorite scene in all of the
Kung Fu
episodes
for
so
Jews.
far.
But that's an arc that we weren't expecting from Berkman. Like, holy shit, we just saw him completely respect a woman's wishes. That's not something you think of when you see the douchebag in the bar.
What do you
Who's
think?
negging a girl?
Right, yeah, and is openly saying I've got a fish on
Oh,
the
I'm
hook or
negging
something.
her.
Yeah, and I'm reeling her right in. So do you think? Where do you think these? I know we're veering into prediction territory, but where do they go?
No need to hit it.
Yeah, no. Where do they go from here? Do you think? Not will they or won't they? But Katie, do you think Berkman and Hannah end up making this work, and Sam's completely out of the picture, or where do they go from here?
I don't see it happening. I mean, we have, 30 minutes left in the season? Yeah. If we get a season 2, it may be explored there, But I do not see it being touched on in this next episode, except for more of Sam freaking out. I don't see that relationship developing.
We're also at a flashback. You know, we're getting
Yeah.
to the point
Yeah,
where
we're
the
pretty
risk
much there.
is happening.
Yeah.
So the last bit will just be any sort of resolution that they give for the end of the season. I think this was the pin in the romance triangle. I use that very loosely.
Yeah, because like
Because Hannah don't want none of that.
Because right now, the world is potentially about to end. Like priorities here.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's speaking of that, like, so Sam loses his goddamn mind. He's in the PlayStation VR. He's watching what he thinks is going to be some sexy time. He literally knocks off Larry, like pulls Berkman out, knocks off Larry's helmet. Things go to shit.
Side note,
And
I
the
think
thing-
Berkman grossly oversold his Krav Maga skill.
Oh my God, yes.
Slap fight. Yeah, totally.
You don't know what Krav Maga is. That could be Krav Maga.
That's not Krav Maga.
That's great form.
Yeah, that's the slap form.
Oh,
And we also got that bit of information that the PlayStation VR is on a 15-second delay. So by the time he's watching them kissing, they've already gone, you know what, we're not going to do this. Okay, I respect that. Like, that's already over. But
Well,
he's
did he
seeing,
even wait
it's like
to that,
Scream.
though?
He's
Yeah.
seeing the delay.
No, but why
So
would you? Well, isn't it delayed? I think he only gets 15 seconds at a
It's
time.
it's a 15, it's on a delay.
Either way, I mean, I think
Yeah.
I think it's totally rational to not wait for like. Let's see if they talk this out.
Yeah.
Maybe like.
I want to see where this goes.
None of what Sam
That
is
is even
doing is
creepier if he just
rational.
keeps watching.
I mean,
None
this
of what
is
Sam
gonna
is
work
doing
out.
is rational.
They
Let's
were in the
be
sex
real.
room. So maybe he was like, maybe I am over this. Let's see how over it I am.
Well, maybe like who knows if Berkman's dick is even present?
Fair.
I mean, who knows?
Fair.
True.
It's been
True.
MIA before.
There are other priorities in this simulation.
So we are coming up on 30 more minutes on the season. We have a long way. For me, I don't know how you guys are feeling, but we had a long way from where we are now, from Bernie Burns of all people showing up and telling them they are fucked.
And despite waiting for him to pop up the entire season,
Yes.
last
Me too.
role that I expected him to pop up
She
in.
called it when we were watching it for the first
really?
time. Megan absolutely
I was like,
called
it's
it.
Bernie. $10 says it's Bernie.
I did not take that bet. She's really good at this.
It
sort of
was,
thing.
and
God
what, like,
damn.
and what he was there for like 60 seconds, and I loved every bit of it.
And
as
we're
he
gonna- and he's
slowly unpacks.
Gonna be back for hopefully the majority of the next
I
episode.
really hope so.
Actually, I think so. His face is on the thumbnail. So.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go down the row, and I want to hear kind of Katie. What do you think's going to happen in the next couple of episodes? This is the Blood Pact. None of this group has seen episode 6. We do not know what's
Yeah.
coming up. We have just a few minutes left in tonight's episode. I want to hear what you think, and then maybe what you hope happens.
I don't think we're getting a resolution.
Okay.
I think we're kind of banking on a season 2 occurring here.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that, if anything, this is the first part. This is Act 1. This is setting the stage. This is where we are now. There's no way this is the end of things, especially since we got the mention of this is your weird little science division,
Yeah.
implying that this may be a corporation and not the government.
Sure.
So I don't think we're getting a wrap up. I think this is going to be like the rising action, the end of Act 3. We're going to get something really big, and then they're going to make us wait.
That'll be interesting. Megan?
I think that the corporation that's holding them, I agree. I don't think
Sam's dad's?
100%.
Absolutely.
Owned by Sam's father.
Okay.
And that that's who, again, will be our big bad in season 2, assuming that the entire black hole doesn't just consume everything and then we just start fresh in a new dimension and or everyone dies.
Funny
The
you mentioned
mythical
that.
season 2.
Funny you mentioned that. I agree that Montgomery is behind it. If he's not behind it, the plant that he has to find Sam and find the black hole, he's going to be working for the Department of Energy. He's going to find a way to use the black hole for energy.
Weaponize
That's
it.
true.
Yeah,
Oh, that's it.
he probably has a way to contain it and use it and power some sort of thing.
Like-
and he wants to use he'll take this dream technology and use it as a weapon for something in the future.
I like
just had a
that
critical
so
role moment.
much. So where I was thinking, what kind of / hoping what would happen would be that actually that his dad is responsible, shows up on the scene, and then Sam is the one. This is a redemptive arc. He actually saves his friends despite almost selling them out, finds a way from them to get out of the corporation, and dad is finally proud. That's what I kind of think might happen.
Or saving them, it makes his father even more disappointed, but he's like, you know what? I don't need your approval.
Or he throws them.
My friends are my family.
Or he throws them straight under the bus. They manage to escape on their own, and he's kind of being Dad's lackey, and that's how we end the season.
All right.
The same way that Ruby season 3 did with Weiss. But
Not quite, but okay.
Oh, my heart.
I don't think that Sam's going to save the day. I think that the puppy is going to save the day.
Yeah.
Because I
That
will
would be
say,
amazing.
on Twitter, Andrew Disney, one of the co-creators, said that he loved our conversations and that we were on the right track.
Yeah.
The one thing that we said was prophetic.
Yeah, something that we said as a joke.
Yeah.
He
Was
said
prophetic.
was prophetic that we should have paid more attention to. And I went back through and I have no idea
You
what
went
it
and
was.
scrubbed the episode.
I have no idea what it was.
We
Andrew,
screw
we're
around
close.
so much in these episodes.
And we laugh about a lot of bullshit.
In the AfterBuzz engineering booth, there's a cork board with like the
Thread.
transcript of-
Yes, absolutely.
Red is for
Pictures of
front
Mr.
story.
Pickles.
Blue is for the side stories. Just so everybody knows.
I personally kind of want the black hole to win. I want this Crunchtime to be an anthology. Let's start with a new group. Let's do this. Guys, we are completely out of time. We're incredibly excited, though, next week. But co-creators Andrew Disney and Bradley Jackson will be joining us in studio, so please tweet at us your questions. We're incredibly excited to have them, ask them all of what's going on, get hopes and prayers for season 2
dreams.
and all that, and get the inside scoop. So, Katie, let's start with you. Where can people find you? And please let us know.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. I basically live in the studio. Z Nation is Mondays at 7. Mondays at 7 because this is Mondays at 8. Yay! Star Wars Rebels is on Tuesdays. We are off this week, so we get a break. Arrow is on Wednesdays, and Ruby starts this Thursday. I will not be there. The lovely Emma Fife will likely be filling in for me. Robots in Disguise started last week, continues next week. We are alternating Ruby and robots. It's wonderful. Watch all the things.
literally all of them.
So many.
Hey guys, I'm Megan. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @themenguin. That's TheMenguin. I'm also on a bunch of shows here at AfterBuzz, and I write articles for The Movie Chick. That's Chick with 2 Ks. Be sure to check those out. And if you are a Screen Junkies Plus subscriber, I will be on TV Fights tomorrow afternoon.
Kick that ass.
Wish me luck.
That's heavy, dude.
Yeah.
Like the fight scenario is so crazy.
Very cool.
And if you are a Screen Junkies Plus subscriber, go watch my episode of Gamer Fights. That was like a month or so ago.
Hell yeah.
That was pretty fun. But yes, we're doing Ruby on Thursday. I don't even know what I was gonna goddamn say. I'm really excited about having a Disney and Jackson in next week.
Yes.
You already said Ruby. Where the hell am I? You can follow me on Twitter at Donica. You can follow us at ABTV Rooster Team on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on YouTube, and also
on the Rooster
Teeth website. We do have a group. All 4 of us have profiles now, so please find us, friend us, be a part of the community. We do journals and such. So please follow us on the community. ABTV Rooster Team.
You and I need to fight.
We need to fight.
We need fights.
I'm on
They're
board.
on fights. We should fight.
Let's go fight. Again, guys, my name is Patrick Dees. You can find me on Twitter at P to the Dees. It is incredibly bright on Planet Cool. Come back next week. We are talking to Andrew Disney and Bradley Jackson, the co-creators of Crunchtime. We will see you then.
Vote for puppies.
Vote for puppies.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
You guys are fun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.